many groups of devices. Listen, subnetting is, instead of having the big office with a lot of departments, many departments like front office, admin, security, sales, production, you know, HR, instead of having all of them in single group, instead of having all of them in single group, putting them in different groups, different network group, for which you need to break the big, large network into multiple small networks, which we call it a subnetting. Breaking down a large network into small networks so that we can give it to different departments. We call it a subnetting. The advantage of subnetting is we get multiple networks out of single network. For example, 10.0.0.0 is one network. What is the mask for this network? Can you please tell? /8. You can also write it as 255.0. 255.0.0.0. Breaking down this large network is 10 large network. Of course, it's a large network. You can have millions of IP address from this 10 network. Breaking down this big network into small network is what subnetting is. Breaking down a large network, a big network, into small networks is what subnetting is. Like this 10.32.0.0/11, 10.64.0.0/11, 10.96.0.0/11, 10.128.0.0/11. It goes on. What I'm coming to show here is this is one network. But when it is like this, when the mask is 8, the entire office is going to be in one big network. We do not like that. Why do we want the security and the HR in one bundle? No one will like it. Security's job is to do security. HR job is to do the human resource management. They have two different jobs to do. You don't like all the managers and the front office and the security computer to be in one network. So what you can do is you can break down this into multiple networks. You see /11, it's not /8. By doing this, you get different networks out of 10. See, when I have a computer connected back to back with the IP address 10.0.0.1 and 10.32.0.1, when the mask is 255.0.0.0, this A and B belong to same network. You don't need a router for these two to communicate. Why? They are in same network. But when the mask changes to 11, when I change the mask, right now it is 8. When it is 8, they both are in same network. When I make it as 11, 224.0.0. This is what 11 is. I'll tell you how it is later. 224.0.0. When it is like this, when the mask is like this, these two will not communicate. Why? This is different network, and this is different network. You need a router to make them communicate. Without router's help, these two cannot talk. Even though they all start with 10, because it is subnetted, they are two different networks. They are two different networks. Subnet mask makes this two different networks. So the subnetting and subnet mask has got close relationship. When you say subnetted, but if you don't change the subnet mask as per the subnetting that you want, then it is not subnetting. Listen. Sorry. When you say you have subnetted, and if the mask is /8, then it is not truly subnetted. That is what I was trying to prove with this picture, in the diagram that I drew. When it was 255.0.0.0, when it was 0, these two were able to communicate without a router. But as soon as you put 224 there, which means /11, they both cannot communicate. You need a router. Without router, A talking to B is not possible. Are you clear with what I'm saying? Did you understand what I said? Right. So subnetting is breaking down one big network into multiple networks. Why? Because I want multiple networks. In my company, I have different departments. I want different networks because I have different companies. Sorry, different departments. So just keeping 10.0.0.0 for the entire company will not provide me isolation from one department and the other. It won't separate the departments. Only subnetting really separates the department. Networks should be subnet. Networks, you need subnets in order to have isolation from one subnet, one department and the other. And if you see here, the members of this department and the members of this department will have their own range of address. They will have their own range of address. What does it mean? It means for this department you will have like 10.32.0.1 and the broadcast ID will be 10.63.255.255 and the last IP will be 10.63.255.254. What do you understand from this? You got a dedicated range of address for the department, let's say sales. Likewise, for the production, IPL starting from 10.64.0.1 till 10.95.255.255 and the last is 10.95.255. 254. So what I'm coming to show here is you got a separate broadcast address for production department and a separate broadcast address for sales department. So if you want to send a packet to everyone in the sales, you need to use this address to send. This is the broadcast address of that department sales. And this is the broadcast address of the department production. So what I'm coming to show here, subnetting not only isolates one department traffic from the other, not only isolates one department from the other, not only it provides you security, it also provides you a dedicated range of IP address and a dedicated broadcast address. Do you understand the need of subnetting? So in our company, we may have a policy like you should use only 10 network. You cannot use 11, you cannot use 12. So if you want to have multiple networks only with the 10, then you have to do subnetting. You cannot use 11. If I'm allowed to use 11, then I can have 11 and 12, 13, 14 for each department. For every department, I'll increment by 1. Production 10 network, sales 11 network, HR 12 network, security 30 network. But I'm not allowed to do that. I'm allowed to use only a private range, and that too it should be only beginning with 10. If that is your company's norms, I have to do subnetting. So repeating again, subnetting is breaking down a big network into multiple networks so that for each department in a company you can give a dedicated network, broadcast, and the range of address. This improves the security. Not only it improves security because you got a dedicated broadcast address for each department. If you want to send any information to everyone in the production, you got 10.95.255.255, a separate dedicated address, which will take only to those departments that are in production. It won't go to the entire office. If you don't do subnetting, what will be the broadcast address? If you don't do subnetting, the first IP will be 10.0.0.1. The broadcast ID will be 10.255.255.255. If you don't do subnetting, this is what the broadcast address of the 10 network. This will take traffic to everyone, not only to production or sales, it will take to everyone. The last IP address will be 10.0.0.2. The first IP, this is the last IP. This is the broadcast. Yep, so subnetting provides multiple network. For each network, a dedicated range of IP address and a dedicated broadcast address. Next, what we are going to learn is how to do the subnetting. Now, what is subnetting is what we have covered. We also covered why we need subnetting. Why? I want to separate one department from other. I want to have a dedicated broadcast address. These are all why subnetting. I need separate network for each department, so I'm not allowed to use any network other than 10. So I have to take 10, break them into multiple pieces. Now, how subnetting is what our next topic.